Welcome to Between Sundays. I'm Tyler, and they will know this podcast by our love of you, friend of the pod. Today we're talking about the most important commandments, but before we write it on our doorposts and our gates, now that they've harvested the grain along the edges of their fields, let's love our enemies by welcoming in our favorite co-host, Maron and Barry is not here, so Amy's here. Good day, guys.
Good day.
Well, hi there. Good day. Welcome back, Amy.
Loving our
Thank
enemies.
you. Thank you. It's been a
It's
really
been a
long
while.
time.
Yeah.
How long do I have to wear this mask?
For the rest
Welcome
of my
back.
life. Thank you. Thanks. Some of my best work.
Best moments.
Yep. Some of my best
You
work.
said that in a sermon.
I know.
Okay.
I say a lot of things.
We do points of order now.
Oh, okay.
So point of order,
Okay.
we're going to get into your sermon.
Sure.
They like to do the point of order because some people listen to it and they're like, when are we going to talk about the sermon? So
when
I
are we
got to
going to
say,
get to something that matters?
yeah, when are we going to get to the
Oh, see, I
the
like all
point?
the other stuff. So
Yeah, a lot of people like the other stuff, but
The
I have to let
banter.
the people who don't like that know that we're going to talk about that in just a few minutes.
Okay.
Week 2 of part 4 of our Matthew series.
Oh, Matthew. We've
Of our
been
Matthew
with you
series.
for so long.
You are on it today.
But first, guys, what's new? What's going on? Maron, your cup matches your sweater today.
Does it? No, Jed would call
No.
them brother colors, and I would say that does
Yeah.
not match. That is not a match.
Brother colors.
Yeah, gotta drink the green tea today. This is one of those weeks that I have no idea how I'm going to do everything I have to do. So it's going to be powered
One
by
of those
coffee
weeks.
and
I
green
feel
tea
like
and the Holy Spirit.
Every week's that
yeah,
week.
No,
that comes up quite often.
it does feel that way
Yeah.
quite often. However, this is just one of those weeks where like all the big things are due, right? Sermon notes due. Sometimes we
papers
have
due?
additional things. We've got a funeral this coming week. It's
Right.
just all the additional parts of life when they all kind of happen on the same week.
Right.
That's
They
so hard.
You need a lot of green tea to get through it. Need a lot of hojicha.
Yes.
We need to let friends of the pod know that you are an MVP. You were playing
again.
hurt last week
We don't need to let them know
during the
about
recording
that.
of this podcast.
Oh.
Maron was playing hurt. Maron, do you want to share a little bit about you were sick all week last week?
That's right. I'm
starting
a warrior.
at this podcast.
I'm a soldier.
podcast.
I'm a soldier in the army of the Lord.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
almost barfed your guts out during this podcast.
That would have been great.
Yeah.
Nobody knew it.
So my husband had made my coffee that morning, and he made me a double shot. Now, I didn't realize he had made me a double shot because I would not typically have that much caffeine on an empty stomach first thing in the morning.
Right.
Okay.
I thought that it was just caffeine jitters. Turns out
It
it
was
was
the chills.
like the stomach flu.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I held it down.
Yeah,
I
you
held
did.
It
We had
together.
no idea until the next day when
When you
Maron,
got it too.
yeah, she just breathed on us the whole podcast.
When you were sick as could be.
Yeah.
Because
No, she didn't come to work
Yeah.
Tuesday because she was so sick.
No, I just
know.
prayed that I would make it home. I was praying that
Oh
I'd
my
make it
gosh,
home
that's
before
the
I got
worst
sick.
feeling
So
ever.
I did. I made it home. Then I got sick.
And then you
I
ran in the
stayed
house
sick.
and stayed sick
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah. But I feel fine now. I'm feeling
Yeah.
good.
So what's new other than hard week? Like what's on your mind?
That is what's on my mind.
Did
Like,
you have a good Valentine's Day?
did I? Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, I went and prayed through someone's house because they just moved and they wanted pastoral help, just kind of praying through each room. So that's how Jed and I spent our Valentine's Day.
nice.
We went and prayed through someone's house, and then we had dinner, and then I went
pretty
home and got right to
romantic.
work.
Yeah.
School.
I'm asking leading questions, hopefully, because last we left you, Amy and I left you. You were showing us pictures of puppies.
Wait,
Oh no.
Were you a part of
I
that?
don't think I was
At
there.
Lead Team on Thursday, you were
I
like,
think I had already departed.
you said you've made a lot of headway
are you?
with the puppies, so you would like to get a dog. So
I do recall talking about dogs at one point. I don't remember the pictures.
So
but
we lost
I've
our
slept.
dog about 2 years ago, and only very recently have my daughter and I, in particular, I think our son is ready too, but we are ready to love again. We're ready to open our hearts
it was Valentine's Day weekend.
Yeah, that's why I'm
Perfect
asking.
time
to another
share
dog.
love.
And you got a puppy.
We got a
in
puppy
that
a
time.
year ago.
Wow, and if I was going
you-
by that, I would definitely get a puppy because you have loved every
Producer
second of it.
Liz got a puppy as well.
Yeah.
And so I can't have baby fever, so I got to have puppy
Right.
fever.
I
And
knew you would love that.
I have puppy fever. However, my husband has not been
he doesn't have puppy fever.
nearly as enthusiastic about the idea of getting a puppy as
So
the
no
rest
puppy
of us
over the
are.
weekend.
Not yet. Do you not think that I would tell you the second?
Well, I thought maybe you'd wait for the big reveal
the
at
big
during the
reveal on
podcast.
the
I guess the
podcast.
big
Yeah.
reveal is Jed has warmed up to the idea.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
I
This morning,
can't believe
he
it.
sent us a video of a dog. He's like, "What about this one?"
Oh, well, then he's
So,
totally warmed
yeah.
up. If he's
Yeah, we're
showing,
making
giving you
real-
ideas.
Oh my
If
goodness.
he's giving
Real
ideas for
progress.
what you could get, he's
Wow.
he's more than warmed up. He's ready.
Yeah, so maybe soon I will have a
So
grand
he's
announcement
saying, what
to make.
about this one? Like he's looking at dogs,
Yeah.
saying,
Yes,
"What
he
about
is.
this?"
That's right. Now we're
I never
all
crossed that bridge, Jed.
dreaming together.
I was a passenger the entire time.
You
Jed's
still are.
Jed's driving that car now.
You just dig your heels in. Like you refuse to admit how much
Yeah.
you love that puppy.
Not yet. Not yet. I like the dog, but
Oh, I can't.
she still eats my stuff.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
As soon as the dog stops eating my stuff, I'll love her.
yeah.
I want to know what's new with you because last Amy and I left
You
you.
were getting a
You were on the
house.
house
Well,
hunt.
yeah, I was gonna go last because
Would you want to go
I'm
last?
glad. Well, I wanted to talk about Jed first because Jed, I met Jed in 2017 or whatever, and throughout the last 9 years of knowing him, there are similarities in how he and my wife
Function.
behave.
Yes, and we all see it. We all agree.
And one of the most famous examples of this was years ago when Jed and Maron were looking to relocate from their rental
Yeah.
property.
Didn't he buy a house without showing it to you?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I
That's-
remember.
that's been a
I was
joke
with
for-
you
That's a hard
in
one
the
to forget.
auditorium.
Yeah.
I think it was Good Friday. I'm not kidding. And you were like, "Well, I have a house," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
So that's been a joke in my mind for a long time. I'm like, what kind of, that's crazy. Like,
Who goes and buys
Who
a
would do
house
that?
without having their spouse at least look at it?
Well, in his defense, houses were flying off the
Yes, it
market
was
in less
right,
than
yes,
24
right,
hours.
yeah.
It was my busiest day. I
Yep.
had wall-to-wall meetings all day long. I could not make it to the viewing of
The house.
said home.
but it's a big enough deal
So
to where
we
I will
went
never
in
forget it.
and put an offer, and his offer was accepted. And we
Yeah.
ended the day with, guess what, babe? I bought you a house.
Yeah.
I hope you like it.
hope you
So
like it.
Thursday last week, I get a text in the middle of a very busy meeting day.
when isn't it busy for you, Tyler? You're always triple booked,
Always.
Well, yeah, during the days,
which
but
is a you problem, as I've said.
no, that's not my problem.
Well, you're booking it.
I get a text from my wife saying that she's going to look at a house. My wife and I have not talked about moving. We've not said that this is something we want to do. We've actually said the opposite, that we are not going to move
Mhm.
because we bought our house 7 years
Yeah.
ago, and it's fine. Like it's not the biggest house, but it fits what we need right now.
Suits
And
you.
interest rate's great.
Yeah.
But Thursday, she went from, I'm just going to go, she said, I can window shop.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I don't know that. So Thursday ended with her being like, what if we got this house? Because she went to go look at a house that
with
with
an
her sister
entourage.
and her mom.
Like there was a whole group of them that went
Yeah.
and looked. Yeah.
And I was at work the entire time. And still in my mind, I left Thursday being like, this is crazy. I ended Thursday going to see the house.
Oh. Okay.
We're not getting it.
Yeah.
But
I heard that.
I went to go look at it, and all I could think about was Jed the entire time. That's all I could think about. Like, I've been laughing at this for
Right.
9
And
years.
now
I
it's gonna
can't do
happen
it.
to you- and now it's
Yeah.
gonna happen
Oh
to you.
yeah, it will happen to you.
Yeah.
It will happen to you because now there's an idea.
Yep.
The idea has been
idea's
planted.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
think
yeah.
so.
The dreams have begun.
Yeah,
It's going
Zillow's
to
on my
happen.
phone now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We will
Unbelievable.
be helping you move your belongings very shortly.
That was my sticking point. I said, I don't care where I live. We can move anywhere. I just don't want to lift a finger to do it.
Yeah.
If I go to work one day and drive home to a different house, that's great.
Yeah.
But I don't want to organize. I don't want to pack up. I don't want to unpack any of that.
And that's where I think you and I are very much alike because at the end of the day, a house is a house.
Yeah. I don't care where it is.
Jed bought me a house.
Right.
We could live there. You know, we've lived in all kinds of structures over the years. What's one more?
Right.
Yeah.
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 I don't think that would fly with me.
No, I don't think so either.
I don't think. that
So
would work out
we're
well.
not getting the house, and hopefully for now, we're not talking about moving anymore.
Yeah, moving's exhausting.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
tiring.
What's up with you?
Not much. I
Not been here forever. What's new?
Well, I don't remember when I was here last, so probably lots of stuff. My girls are in college. Annie's in Texas.
Well, you've been jet setting recently.
Yeah, we went on a very lovely vacation. Yeah, it was wonderful. We were gone for 10 days.
To the Bahamas.
Well, yeah, the British Virgin Islands, so the Caribbean. Yes, it was lovely. It was wonderful.
And did you already go to Austin, or
No, we
that's
leave
coming up?
Wednesday afternoon. We'll fly down and see Annie for a couple of days.
Got to be back up by core team though.
I know. I do. It's big doings. Big doings at the core team.
Yeah.
So we're just. Yeah, I'm
How's
kind
life
of
been since Maggie's been at school?
good. She usually calls me a couple times a day, just to let me know what's going on. And she's always whispering when she calls.
Why?
I'm like, where are you that you have to whisper She's like, hi, I'm just walking back from class. And I'm like, why are you whispering?
Yeah.
It's like she's always talking in secretive tones. And she'll call me about stuff like, oh my gosh, this guy didn't hold the door for me. And I was carrying all this stuff. And she's talking.
Why
like,
why did she call you for that?
because she just needs me to know these things. But unbeknownst to me, she's calling Annie, her sister,
Yeah.
that's 4 years older than her, like 8 times a day.
What?
So Annie's like, twice is nothing. She's calling me. Oh, she misses Annie so much. She loves
Yeah.
Annie so much. She misses her and needs to just vent or talk about things or ask her questions. And yeah, but Annie's sometimes like, I'm busy and I cannot talk about the fact that no one opened the door for you while you were carrying your books. Like, so yeah, these are my
Where
children.
did this come from? Did this like, were they raised just like calling you all the time? Like,
We were in a lot of communication. It's the fault of the phone. Like we can't, even when they were in class, like we could text each other. Like it just, yeah, it's
between
probably
the
a
two
little
of
bit
you, man, it's like the dream. Like your son is your best friend. You are his best friend. Your daughter calls you multiple times a day.
I don't think she'd say I'm her best friend, but she does like to tell me.
Yeah, that's the dream.
Yeah, I mean, they are lovely children.
Lou, who is 2 years old, is now like, I'm the one that does bedtime every night, and she's now like, she wants to put herself to bed and does not want me to rock her anymore.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And last night I was like,
Aw.
okay, just give me a goodnight kiss, and she's like, nope. So that's done.
Yeah.
Those days are done.
Yeah.
For the minute.
So maybe she'll call
circle
me when
back.
she goes to college.
She's your Desi.
Yeah. Yeah.
I tell you that all the time.
Yeah.
She's
I
your
have
Desi.
not been here, though, since our Christmas Eve services where your children were adorable.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Sang in the kids' choir, and then Lane had to be recruited
Rose
to
to the
play
occasion.
Joseph.
Rose to the occasion,
I
'cause-
lost 2 Josephs, one to a fever and one to barfing.
Yeah.
And Lou was already a little lamb.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, for a 2-year-old, she nailed it. She was adorable.
Yeah,
she was so cute.
She kind of
I
knew.
mean, she walked out and she just sat down perfectly and
I was sitting in the front row each service,
Yeah.
so she kept looking at
Looking
me
at
and
you.
telling me
right.
what all the things
What was
were.
happening.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
like, "That's a donkey. That's a cow. I'm a sheep. That's
So
Joseph."
I lost my second Joseph. So Lane
Yeah.
was in the kids' choir, and Lauren, your wife, said, Lane, would you like to be Joseph? And he said, do I have to? And she was like, well, actually, yes. Yes, you do. And so he was Joseph for
Yeah.
the all the services, I think. Didn't he do all 3?
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah, and I kept losing my Mary was 9, and I kept going younger with every Joseph. So finally, there was like a 2-foot difference.
Yeah, Mary
between
was
Mary
a
and
good
Joseph.
2.5 feet taller than
It was,
Joseph.
but they were adorable, and thank you for allowing them to be a part of it.
He was very into that role by the time he got it.
I'm so glad.
He was like-
kind of method
he just-
acting. He was zoned in on
Line of
Joseph.
sight on baby Jesus. Didn't make eye contact
Yes.
with anyone.
Well,
out
he
there.
listened to instructions.
Yeah.
He was. I was like, you just go out and look at baby Jesus when she
Yep,
puts
that's it. That's
and
all he did.
zoned in on the
He's
baby.
locked in.
Yeah, he was locked in. He was locked in.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I wish I had more to share.
That's fine.
I mean, You know,
We're 15 minutes in. so-
okay, great, great.
Barry's gone, by the way. Barry is on vacation. He'll be back next week,
yes.
but he's not preaching this weekend. You are,
No,
right?
I
yeah,
am.
yeah.
All right. But
Yeah.
hopefully he'll be back next week.
Yeah, that's how he was able to take vacation.
Yeah.
He bookended. He got a couple of people
That's
to
right.
fill in.
Barry, you're welcome.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, let's get to the sermon.
Okay.
You preached week 2 of our Follow Me series. That's heading right into Easter.
Sure is.
If you remember the game, just kind of set the. Do you need a minute?
No, I took some notes because
Just sitting here on your phone.
I took some notes and looking at some notes because there were some questions
Oh,
that
my
I wanted to
word.
make sure I
Talking to
had
you and you're like,
appropriate answers to. I am listening to you.
Okay.
I can do 2 things at once. I know I'm getting older, but I'm still capable.
Can you share the big idea with us?
Wow, you look enthralled. Well, I mean, there were probably a couple of big ideas. I kind of honed in on that song, They'll Know We're Christians by Our Love.
Yeah.
And I would say that was a big idea.
for sure.
Love should be our reputation. I loved that quote from the pastor and the Wesleyan pastor.
Did you grow up singing that song?
I knew of it. I don't remember.
Can you
we
sing
had,
it for us now?
No, I'm not singing it for you now.
Do you know it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I think I'm mixing up the tune with a different song. But anyway, I knew of the song. I'm sure I sang it somewhere. I mean, I grew up in the 70s. I had to have sung it somewhere.
Yeah.
But I mean, basically, the big idea was the commandments: love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind, and love your neighbor as yourself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the big idea was Jesus kind of just put it right out there. He was like, "Here's
Yeah.
your big idea. It's exactly what I'm telling you."
So you shared that this song. What's it called?
They'll know we're Christians by
They'll
our
know
love.
we're Christians.
I just said it.
I know.
2
I didn't
seconds
know if it
ago.
was "They'll know us by our love" or
No,
"They'll know
it's
we're
just-
Christians."
just no.
Because I've
They'll-
never heard the song.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
okay.
But you said it was a protest song, so I started looking it up.
Yeah.
Just learn about it and wondering why it was written. You said it was written in 1966.
Yeah, he wrote
In
it because there was
Chicago.
nothing like it, and he was
Yeah.
it was a racial reconciliation Sunday or something that his kids choir that he'd conducted was singing, and I think he wrote it because he couldn't find anything that worked for
Yeah, and
this
think about
particular
like
event.
the world in 1966.
Oh, my word, yeah.
It's like the peak of the civil rights
Yeah.
movement.
People were being assassinated.
People, yeah,
We
peaceful
were- we
demonstrators
were in
were
the
met
middle
with
of,
violent counter
was
protesters.
Vietnam? Weren't we in the middle of that? At that
Vietnam,
point? I mean,
everybody
like,
was turning on Vietnam
yeah.
right then.
There was a lot of chaos.
Lots of division in the country.
Yes, yes.
Lots of division. The song broke into a world where people were asking, especially young people, like whether the church truly opposed war, racism, oppression, hypocrisy, which kind of sounds a little familiar.
Yeah.
So yeah, he wrote it for young people who were disillusioned with the world, but also disillusioned with the
Christians,
church.
Yeah.
So that was 60 years ago. What do you think that song or the sermon says the key to resisting this cycle? Like, we haven't fixed this problem, people being disillusioned with the church, and it probably extended long before that. Maron, you probably know way more about
Oh, church history and all that. Yeah.
but what does it say about this like cycle of hatred and retaliation that continues to define us, even Christians, even church? Like, we have these songs, we have these commandments, but yet we can't figure it out. Like, what do you guys attribute that to? Because I left the sermon that you preached and I was like, yep, got it. Like, they'll know us by our love. But at least for the last 60 years, that's been a question that has been asked of the church.
I think there have been
consistently.
moments in the last 60 years where it's been better. Like, I think the disillusionment hasn't been quite as great. I don't.
Promise keepers?
Yes, definitely Promise Keepers. It had its place, I'm sure, at some level. But right now, I feel like I wasn't alive in 1966, but I would venture to say, and I guess I should ask somebody that lived through that time. I would say we are as divided,
Yeah.
if not more, than we were. But I would not say
Maybe.
that my whole I wouldn't say from the moment that I remember life to this moment, I would say all the time I felt this divided as a country, as Christians. Because the song itself, I feel like, is really more about the way Christians interact with each other and
Yes.
love each other. And the world is looking at that and saying, oh, well, look at how they love each other and
Right.
take care of each other. Well, I think right now the church as a whole is not doing that very well. I feel like it not within a congregation, but congregations, you know, you have all sorts of different churches saying different things. I just feel like it's super divided. And I wouldn't say the world looks at it, non-Christians or secular society looks at the church and says, wow, look at the way they take care of each other and love each other, and then in turn take care of the world and us. And I feel like I would love, I guess I could do a little research and ask some people, but I would love to know someone who's lived through both, what they would feel.
I wasn't alive then either. But the thing that I see consistently on social media, especially like in the comments and stuff, is like whenever something crazy happens in our world that involves a proclaimed Christian or church or politician who's a Christian or whatever, or the ideology that people perceive to be Christian, the comments that I see are like, there's no greater hate than a Christian's love. Like that is that is the opinion of at least some people. And so it feels like we're pushing a rock uphill for sure. When you hear a sermon that is about the greatest commandments, and yet you look around and you're like, it's just a drop in the bucket.
My in-laws were alive during this time, and I know the song because of them and their church, going to being part of Jed's church, the church that Jed grew up in. They sang this song frequently, and it was new to me as a young adult. I didn't grow up singing it as a kid. And what I loved about it were lines like, well, first of all, it's taken from John 13, by this everyone will know that you are my disciples if you love one another. So the love you have for one another. They'll know we're Christians they will know we are his disciples. They will know we are Christians by the love we have for one another. But the song has like a handful of verses. And I always loved third verse? We will work with each other. We will work side by side. Yep. It sounds like my in-laws in the 60s and 70s, right? Like just full of optimism. We're going to walk hand in hand. We're going to work side by side. But this line, and will guard each man's dignity and save each man's pride. Imagine. Imagine if we were still doing that or trying to do that. And I know that, when this song was popular, when my mother-in-law and father-in-law were much younger, that wide-eyed optimism made this seem really possible. Yeah. And everybody was bought in to that.
Maybe that's what we've lost. I don't feel that.
Guarding each man's dignity.
And I don't feel the optimism.
Yeah.
I don't feel like people are looking at the world optimistically. Maybe in the 60s, even with everything that was going on, there was still a hopeful
we will be different.
optimism.
We're going to do it differently.
And I don't feel that right now.
Especially with the group I'm talking about. They took it back to the model of the early church. We're going to share all of our belongings. Right. We're going to have all things in common. We're literally going to walk hand in hand and side by side and work together in ministry. And they're still doing that to this day. But when I look back over the years, I see hurt after hurt, devastation after devastation, loss after loss that has just really soured that youthful optimism.
Yeah. I don't feel like we have a generation of optimistic hopefuls coming behind us, or that I don't feel that the way maybe they did in the 60s, that there was a younger generation that thought, no, this can be better and we can help make it better.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm missing things, but that's not what I'm feeling at the moment.
So you started with Matthew 22. That's kind of where the scene takes place, that you said Jesus had just spent time humiliating the Sadducees in public, and people began following and hanging on his every word.
Yeah.
And I looked it up, and there are like 600 laws or commandments in the Torah. Did you know that?
I probably couldn't have quoted you 600. No.
600.
No. Well,
So these guys
a
and the
lot.
Pharisees, I guess from what I understand, is like they would go back and forth being like, which of these 600 laws are the best or the greatest? It feels like I was right back in college. Like arguing about which
Yeah.
law is the best. So when you said they were setting a trap for him, I was like, what's the trap? Like, I don't get it. But if I understand it right, if Jesus gave the wrong answer to which of the laws was the best, it would dismiss a large swath of the Torah or people who believed one thing or believed a different thing. So it'd be an issue for these religious people. And if he gave like a pandering political answer, it would kind of make him seem like a opportunist or something. And so that was the trap. And it's incredible, like once I considered what he actually did, he reached back into two separate texts. You illustrate it through Deuteronomy and Leviticus, which is right. It's that part of the Bible that we're always like, I'm going to read the Bible in a year. And we get stuck in Deuteronomy and Leviticus and we're
like,
done.
oh, shoot.
Yeah. So
Where's the New Testament?
these verses, Deuteronomy 6, Leviticus 19, had seemingly never been connected to these people before. He's basically saying that these, love your God and then love your neighbor as yourself, these are the two axes that all these other 600 laws, they spin underneath because this is the system. It's love God and love your neighbor as yourself. Everything else kind of rotates around that. And so they want to know which is the greatest. And he's saying there's a structure beneath all this, and the structure is actually built on relationship. Is how when I heard you talk about it, it's like love God. Okay, that's built on relationship, and then love other people, obviously built on relationship rather than a bunch of 600 laws. So in Deuteronomy, the Shema, I've never heard that word.
Shema.
Shema?
Shema Israel.
Shema. I listened to it.
What is
Sure,
what?
sorry.
Well, I don't know. I thought it was Torah.
The
Shema is a prayer.
Yeah, it's the central prayer of all of Judaism. It's where, it's one of the places in which we even get the idea of monotheism. The Lord our God, the Lord is one.
Shema.
It's a call to prayer. Yeah, Shema.
And they do it twice daily, morning and night.
So in Deuteronomy, the Shema, it says, love your God with all your heart, soul, and strength. Jesus, when he's confronted here, takes out strength and adds mind. Or he adds mind.
Well, in two of the Gospels, they have all four.
Okay.
They say heart, soul, strength, and mind. I think it's the difference between Hebrew and Greek. That the mind, the strength can mean both. It kind of is all-encompassing, and heart actually encompasses all of it in the Hebrew. But when you're speaking to an audience that understands the Greek, then you need to add.
So
mind,
did he
because
add
heart
something?
in Greek doesn't encompass.
Yeah,
That's what I was understanding, at least.
Yeah, it looks like the passage in Deuteronomy that Jesus is quoting, in the Greek translation of the Old Testament, in the Septuagint, they swap the word heart for the word mind.
Yeah.
Which would make a lot more sense given the Greek audience and the kind of Hellenistic emphasis on all things intellectual and all things mind. And so he's quoting Deuteronomy, but he's quoting the Greek lexicon, if that makes sense.
Which shows Jesus knows his audience. Like, he knows who he's talking to. He knows what he needs to. But overall, what they're saying in both Deuteronomy and in Matthew and the other Gospels that have this scenario in it is it's your whole self. It's every piece of your being.
I just love that.
It was interesting. Sorry, I just have to side note, because I have the luxury, I've said this before, of having Tim Ayer's notes on Matthew, the entire book. I think it's like 400 pages of commentary about Matthew. And he digs in a little bit to the other Gospels using all four. And he said, look, bottom line is, and I can hear Tim saying it as I'm reading on
You're doing
paper.
Tim hands
Yes.
right
Look,
now.
The bottom line is,
Gird your loins.
you need, it is just saying all of every part of your being. And he said we could talk for days about why it's this, that, or the other, but both are saying it's with everything that you have and everything that you are.
I love the addition of the mind, because without it, I've always read it as like it's a very emotional thing. It's it without the mind. I remember having a conversation about this with somebody a long time ago, and it was like, if it's just heart, soul, and strength, what about like when I'm doubting something, or what about all my questions? And adding the mind like adds permission for all that stuff in my mind. So
Not to mention the other scriptures that come to mind when you think about what does the word specifically in the New Testament have to say about the mind, right? Do not conform to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. We're supposed to be renewing our mind. Stay sober-minded. Set your mind on things above.
Right.
The mind is central to what it means to surrender your whole life to Christ, not just your emotions, not just your strength, not just that part of you can't see, your soul, but also your thoughts.
Right.
yeah,
Which is also why I think probably, I'm totally guessing on this, but that worship services were structured with your whole self in mind. You know, a lot of the music is grabbing your heart and your soul, and then yet the teaching is giving you, hopefully filling your mind with the right thoughts, and you can't do one without the other. You're not fully engaged with him. Even if you sit to spend time with him, there is a renewing of your heart and your soul as you're in his presence, but you do want to have pieces of your mind being on him and learning from him, and anyway.
And being transformed by him.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where I think all of it means the same thing. All of you.
when you started going through Leviticus 19, you read
A lot of
the
passages.
whole thing.
Before, yeah.
Was there a specific reason you chose to do the whole thing?
Well, I mean, the passage was given to me, but but you also realize that it's kind of like he gave you the tactics before he gave you the rule. It was like everything leading up to love your neighbor was all the things that you shouldn't be doing if you love people well. Take care of people. Don't cheat them. Don't if you see your neighbor, something happening to your neighbor, don't stand idly by. Take action. Care about justice. Like all the things that we should be about.
Yeah.
So it was like all of that led up to because you need to love your neighbor as yourself.
I love that you did that.
I do too,
It shows that this has always been the Father's heart. This is not something new that Jesus ushered in. He's telling these religious leaders, you have missed the boat. Go back, read what it says. And not
This
just
has been
caring
around
for,
forever.
not just, and upping the ante, but showing them that it's been there all along. Not just loving the neighbor that you're friends with or the family member who happens to be a neighbor, but the foreigner among you.
Yeah, that's right.
Leave
Yes.
The workers,
Leave
disabled
the
people.
leave
food.
for even the person you don't know,
Yep.
for even the person who is unfamiliar to you, foreign and alien to you. We're even going to provide for that person.
Yeah, the reason I asked is because as I was reading it, I was like, oh, this is relational holiness. It's not just a bunch of laws or whatever.
Well,
Like
that's what I loved about it. It was like, well, the law and the demands of the prophets, even in the Old Testament, he's saying these come out of this. It's not just, it's a list of rules, but the list of rules is based on you.
Yeah, you want to know what loving your neighbor means? Read the 15 verses right before.
And
it gets to
what
that
I
Leviticus.
want is for those 15 verses to come out of your love for others.
Yeah.
Like it's not just a list of rules. It is something that is coming from the deepest parts of who you are because you care for them and you love them and you consider them before in the same way that you would consider yourself. Anyway, that's why I read all of it.
Okay.
I did think about it. I thought hard and long about, even up till Sunday morning, did I need to read all of the Deuteronomy passage and all of and I thought, yeah, I do. I feel like there's important
I agree.
things to be heard, because even in the Deuteronomy passage, the love the Lord your God was a few verses in before you got to it. So, but I felt like it was necessary. Like it was a whole encompassing.
Yeah.
There was a list of commandments. There was a list of, it was more encompassing than just the verse, pulling the verse out without giving it the context that it was in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why.
It needed the context.
Yeah.
And I think like this is the Shema. This was a no-brainer
Right.
for Jesus.
Yes, exactly. Like
What's
they knew
the
this.
greatest
Right.
commandment?
Yeah.
They had this nailed to their
Right,
doorposts.
right.
They had this affixed to their bodies
Right.
in
Yeah.
those little
Tell
prayer
your children
boxes.
and your grandchildren, and everybody needs to know
yeah.
this.
Yeah. But I think that's the frustrating part. And I'm getting a little ahead of myself because the next chapter over,
Right.
Jesus has a lot to
Right,
say
right.
to these Pharisees.
Yes.
Woe to you, 7
Yep.
times. But like this is the greatest commandment. You know it, I know it,
Mm-hmm.
we all know it, and yet you have missed the heart of it. How do you not know that thing on your, maybe you just
Mm-hmm.
don't look at it every day when you walk out your door, the thing that's nailed to your doorpost that says,
Mm-hmm.
love the Lord your God with all your heart?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the word agapao.
Agapao.
No, not agapao.
I don't think there's a
Power.
R.
Yeah.
Agapao?
Yeah.
I don't know.
talk
I
about
looked
that
it up.
word.
I printed it out. I'm telling you. And Tim would also say nobody really knows how any of them are pronounced, so
Yeah.
you can pronounce them however you
There's no
want.
R.
It looks like agape
agapao.
and agapao.
Yeah.
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 Well, is it the same word as agape? Because we've talked about that in sermons before. Different types of love. Is it the same
Yes, it is.
word?
One is more of a noun form and one is more of a verb form.
Okay.
So
Love's a
agape is more of the noun of like you should be about love. You should be and whatever the other word is because I'm going to pronounce it wrong.
Agapao.
Agapao, pao.
Agapao.
Anyway, it is more like how you do that, like
Yeah.
the doing of
verb.
that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
And it means loving others with no expectation in return.
yep.
I looked up like the difference. I thought this was an easy way to make sense of it. God is love. That's agape. That's love, the noun. For God so loved
yeah.
the world. That's the verb. He loved.
okay.
Right.
That's agapao.
We're all pastors.
Mm-hmm.
We all are part of this spiritual community. Do you
Yep.
guys find it harder than normal being in the situation of pastor or part of a spiritual community to agapao,
What do you
loving
mean?
people without expectation
No,
of
No.
return?
Mm-mm. I don't.
I don't either.
I find it harder in my personal life or with people. I find it harder with people that I would expect something in return. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah, I
my family, I don't.
people you're closer to.
Yes, that I would think. Of course, they're going to give me something back because they love me like I love
Right.
them, or is at least pretty close. When we're doing stuff with congregants, my role is that. My role
Yeah.
is to love them without expecting anything in return. So does it get draining?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. But
yeah, maybe that's a better way to put it because I feel like I don't know. Expect is the wrong word, but like I feel like sometimes I should be able to expect things in return if like, man, I just spent like years walking with you through this thing and you're leaving church, or you're whatever, like say, fill in the blank. And it gets to me sometimes. It's like, I never did it because I expected you to repay me in some way, but like having things happen like that over and over and over, where it's like, we are called to love people without expectation of anything in return.
Right.
But when it comes back to hurt over and over and over again, I'm tempted to believe maybe there should be some times that we are expected
I think
to love,
I think
especially Christians.
if you worded it in the way of sometimes it would be nice to be considered.
Mm-hmm.
That expecting something in return, no. That my feelings sometimes might be considered by somebody else in the congregation. Yeah, that would be nice. Like that you would consider that I might be hurt by this, and that piece, yes, that gets hard sometimes. I feel like when you feel like you've poured out and then they do walk away without considering that you might be hurt or even giving you the consideration of sharing it with you or, those.
It's like I would have done it anyways, but like it
but
hurts
it hurts
still. And
Yes,
it happens
does.
a lot.
Being hurt, yes,
It's-
absolutely.
It's why I've walked into this room countless times. And the first words out of my mouth are just another day on the cross. We knew what we were signing on for when we became pastors. If you can, what did Dave used to call it? Death by 1,000 cuts. If you can be hurt in the way you're describing, just people and hurt people, if you can go through that again and again and again and again and again and still show up here and do what you do, you know you're not doing it out of any sense of expectation from human goodness.
Right.
You're not doing it for anything you expect to receive from them. You're doing it first and foremost because you love the Lord your God with all your heart and soul, mind, and strength. And you're doing your best to love that messy neighbor, to love that neighbor that you're like besties with right now, but 5 years from now,
you're not going to talk to anymore.
Could take an offense, write you a letter, and leave.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
I recently got entangled in a circumstance.
Oh dear.
This
left
what
me
a
feeling
quite the story.
Not sure I
it
want to
left
hear
me
it.
feeling what are you doing? It left me feeling annoyed and convicted. So I sat in my pride for a while, and the consequence was potentially losing a relationship because to someone I consider my one, right? So I'm gonna try to save some of the details, but I felt like if I loved this person without any expectation of something in return, then I would be enabling bad behavior. I don't know if you guys have relationships like that. Unhealthy behavior. So
I have children.
This just went off, by the way. So the story is I made this person mad, and the reaction to that was, for lack of better term, to pout
Okay.
and silently suffer. So I said something that was thoughtless, and they got upset, and I made an apology for what I said, but when they came back with a response, anyways, I kind of put them in their place. And everyone, including me, looks back on this situation and says, I shouldn't have done that. I feel like there are times, I'm bringing it back to the Agape. I feel like there should be times, or could be times, where we as Christians are able to say, hey, I love you. I want you to be happy. I want you to flourish. You're not, so I'll continue to love you, but I do have expectations. I do expect something in return. I expect that you try. I expect that you get out of bed. I expect that you stop doing what you're doing. Maybe it's not like that's not the condition of which I love you, but I can't keep giving you this attention or this brain space that I give you if you continue to do these unhealthy things or bad behavior. So is there a time that we can love people with expectations, or as Christians and as pastors, do we always have to be diplomatic and love regardless of any level of expectations or protection or whatever?
I guess one of my points yesterday was, is that coming from a deep, abiding love for them? Yes, there are people that need to be challenged but am I challenging them because I know it's what's best for them and I'm loving them so well that I will put some parameters on them because I know that it is going to be the best. I'm not expecting them to give me anything in return to me personally, but I know that if I mean, it's like when you've got a child that needs a little kick because they're stagnant, but you know if you continue to enable them to live the way they're living, that is not the most loving thing to do for them. The most loving thing to do is say, no, I'm going to have to withhold my support in this area, or because that's going to help propel them. They're going to have to sink or swim. They're going to have to make a decision. And I do, but I have to question myself all the time when I'm in a conversation with someone or I'm challenging them in some way. Am I doing this because I care deeply about them and what's best for them.
Yeah.
It's also a little complicated by the fact that you said that this individual is your one. I expect different things from my husband, my believing husband, even my believing friends, even
Right.
my believing coworkers.
Right.
Like, I hold you to a different standard than I hold someone who is not a follower of Christ, not
absolutely.
identifying as a follower of Christ. So I don't know exactly, how that plays into your question, like about expectations.
Yeah, maybe there is a difference.
I think that there is. I think your continued role in that person's life is to love them. I also think you need to do a better job of not stuffing things down until they explode.
I didn't say I did that, Maron. You're bringing off mic conversations into the on mic.
She's saying that because she loves you and she knows that that's what's best
No,
for you.
I'm just saying, like, what's that scripture? Catch us the foxes before they spoil the vine. Like, I wonder if that's part of this. I wonder if that's housed in the song that we referenced at the beginning of your message and the beginning of this podcast. The first verse is, we are one in the Spirit, we are one in the Lord, and we pray that our unity will someday be restored. So what does it look like to walk in the Spirit day in and day out? And when offenses happen, follow the leading of the Spirit and not stuff them down and not overinflate them, but prayerfully and with the Spirit's assistance, walk through that offense, walk through the pain, walk with the person you love, whether they are an unbeliever or a believer. Maybe that frames the conversation a little bit differently, how you have that conversation with the person who's offended you or whatever. But I just keep going back to this idea of Spirit empowerment and the unity that is ours in the Spirit. He's already given us that unity, so we just have to maintain that unity. What does that look like in regard to your question about expectations? Is there ever a time to expect something? I expect, like, love and respect from my family, from Jed and the kids. I also fully expect that they will miss the mark many times over, and so will I.
Yep.
So then I guess the expectation is, well, what is forgiveness? What does reconciliation look like in this situation? Where is the Spirit at work? How can I renew my mind
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
set my mind on things above, all the things we just talked about?
Yeah, that makes sense. In your sermon, you said that loving our enemies is possible, which to me doesn't sound great.
No.
But
Doesn't
okay,
sound great to me either.
you also said that it's impossible to love our neighbor without loving God first, based on John 15:5. How do we go about holding these two things together without falling into despair? Impossible without God, as in it's impossible for a severed branch to produce fruit. Impossible to love our enemies, as in it's genuinely achievable for my ordinary, flawed self to love people I can't stand. So how do I hold those two things without crumbling? Because I don't love my enemies. I struggle with it.
Right.
At least consistently. I think there are times where I have moments and I'm like, all right, I'm good. I forgive and I'm good with my enemies, whoever the names are rolling through my head. And I have God. So you said we can't do that. We can't love. It's impossible to do it without God. So I have God. So great. But I still don't find myself loving my enemies. So it kind of feels sometimes like I'm failing at being a Christian, because I have God, so I should therefore be able to love my enemies, because this is what the greatest commandment says I should be doing, and it's only possible because I have God. But I have God, but I feel like I'm still I'm still have resentment. It's right at the front of my mind. I pray for them, but it's like mechanical and hollow, and it just makes me kind of sometimes feel like I can't love my enemies. I can't. I try. Or I don't know. Maybe I don't try. I try sometimes.
I
but
also wonder, like, about the importance of time in matters like this. Maybe right now you can't love your enemy.
Yeah.
And maybe praying for them, even though that prayer feels hollow,
yeah.
is all that you can do
Yeah.
right now. But I bet if any one of your enemies was like in dire straits, in need, and you had within your power a way to help them, I bet you would. I bet, just philosophically, if you were walking past a burning building and your enemy was standing there asking for help, I bet something in you
Sure.
would
You
be
would not
compelled
stand
to
idly
go
by.
help them. I wonder if we don't have enough opportunities to agapao love our enemies, to love them in the form that is a verb, right? I can love them from a distance by forgiving them in like a theoretical sense, right? I forgive them. But I'm not even in close enough proximity to my enemies to be able to do anything tangibly loving toward them. The best I can do right now is release them into God's hands, let go of my anger, let go of my hatred, and
Right.
love them through forgiveness. But someday, God
Yeah.
might bring around a full circle moment where I am confronted face to face with that enemy, and I have an opportunity to verb, right, agapao, to actually love them. And I bet you would. I bet you we all would.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think that's why your grandmother's story was so important
Yeah.
to the sermon,
She's
because
the best.
she stayed, you said, stay connected to the vine or stay connected to God. And by the time you were in her life, she had, I don't know how long she had been a Christian, but maybe her whole
Yeah,
life.
she grew up.
So her roots were deep. And if there's anything I know about Barry, or what Barry said about plants and roots and vines, it's like vines don't produce fruit in a couple years, for the first couple of years. Like he started that food forest, and then like 3 years later, he's like, I finally have a first thing,
Fruit.
because he had to wait for the roots
Yeah.
Yeah.
to get so deep. And your grandmother, by the time you were a part of her life, like she had super deep roots. And I wonder if like virtue is the same type of thing. Like it takes a lot of time, like you were saying. And the point, what you said in your sermon, is you have to stay connected to God. That's why it's impossible without him. Because if you are connected to him, it at least makes it possible to love your enemies in a way that God also loves them. Because I often think, I often like go about my days pretty consistently being like, do I love them yet? Do I love them yet?
I do
Today
too.
I do.
I'm not. I do
Tomorrow, I don't know if I do. And maybe that's the wrong question. Maybe the question should be, am I connected to the vine?
Too. Well, and I ask the
know?
question a lot. That's why I brought it up yesterday, or in my message, is because I ask myself the question all the time: am I doing this because I love them, or because it serves me, or because I constantly am asking myself that question, because I have some relationships in my life that I'm like, I got to figure out the best way to love this person.
Yeah. And that I wonder if that's the wrong question. I wonder if it's like, am I connected to the source of love,
Right.
which is God?
And
And therefore, until then, I will continue, even if they're empty, praying for them.
Yeah.
Or I'll practice. I will just practice, because someday this may become real.
Or if I have a malicious thought or that pain creeps back in, I will capture that thought. I will turn that over to God again and again and again. And that's part of renewing my mind. That's part of loving him with my mind. Even the unpleasant thoughts that exist in my mind, I'm turning them over to him.
I wish she were still alive to ask her, and I'm sure somewhere along the line it was really easy for her. And I mean, or at least it appeared like it. There was never, she would sometimes say she was cross with me, but that was about as angry as I heard her. And I mean, if you knew me as a kid, people were
very
like, you're the
cross with
most annoying kid I've ever met. Right? I mean, there was a neighbor that used to say, when I grew up, they were like, I never dreamed you would turn into a nice, lovely young lady, because you were a terrible kid. So there were lots
How come
of
every time you do an impression of like an older
man
person, you're like,
well, they do. Because they talk like that, all of them. But she just, I would love to know what her daily practices were, because it was like patience and peace. And I mean, all the fruits of the Spirit were just like flowing from her with everyone she encountered. There was not one person. I mean, honestly, people would go to my dad. They probably didn't even like my dad, although he was pretty fun. But they just wanted to be with her for 10 minutes while they waited in the reception area. And she would just open that little window, the glass window, and talk to them. And she just, everyone
worked
wanted,
there?
yeah, she was the receptionist. Everyone just wanted to be with her. They just wanted to be with her. She was she made you feel like you could be better.
Yeah. And like you just said, Maron, it's like, that was the Spirit. That wasn't necessarily her. That was the Spirit doing
Yes,
that.
and that's why I wish I could say, what were you doing every day?
Yeah.
Like, what were your spiritual practices that just, tethered you to the Spirit in ways that were kind of remarkable to me.
Yeah, and what were some of the trials that produced that Spirit in you?
Yeah.
What did you have to go through that made you the person you are?
Yeah.
Last week we talked about servant leaders, and there's always a cost. There's always a sacrifice that servant leaders have to make. And as you were talking about your grandmother, I was thinking about there's probably a cost for always living that way. What do you think some of that stuff, like what do you think she had to sacrifice to always be patient and kind and what,
Well, the first thing that comes to mind for me is like pride. Like you have to let go of you always being right or thinking that you have the answer to everything or thinking that you're better than someone else. And I think that's something I probably struggle with a ton. I don't know where that lived in her, but I would think that she had to just let go of like, I'm always right, or I always have the right answer. Pride
like
is
to
the
hold
first thing
grudges.
that came. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like you did something to me, so I'm going to hang on to that for the rest of my life. I never, people would say things to her and she just was able to allow them to say it and not react or feel a certain way about it. Yeah, pride is the first thing that came to mind for me, probably because it's something I struggle with myself. So
Tell us more about that.
do I have to? I think you can see it.
Last thing, who, you said it, but who is our neighbor?
I think everyone you encounter.
Including enemies, right?
Yeah.
And you gave a caveat about the people who hurt us. You said we can still have boundaries and don't have to engage people, but we still need to find love. You still need to be loving.
Yeah.
Can you explain what that means, and maybe more importantly, what that doesn't mean?
Well, I think it means something different for every person in every relationship. I had people in mind that I know have been deeply hurt by others and hurt by people in their life that should love them in deep ways, and they've been crushed. And so I don't know that you have to find somewhere love that probably looks like forgiveness. It probably looks like letting go of the anger. It doesn't mean that you forget everything that they did. I don't believe that. I don't know. When you've been deeply hurt by somebody, I don't know that you can forget. But you can forgive, even if they're not asking for it.
Yeah.
And you let go of expectation.
Yeah.
You let go of, I will use this example. My husband, his dad was nothing that he ever needed to be for him, ever. I mean, he just wasn't. And one night after we'd been married for a couple of years, they went on a walk. He'd moved away, but came to visit like once a year. And Jeff just said to his dad, I forgive you. And his dad was like, for what? And Jeff was like, okay. And he came back and he said he doesn't get it, but that's okay because I've forgiven him and I now can live. When I get something from him, it will be a treasure, but I have no expectations, and so I can live free of that and he has. And I think Jeff has been a better husband and dad because he was able to love his dad regardless of of what he got in return. So that's
No, I think that is a great example of the caveat that I was thinking that you were talking about. I had a conversation with somebody after this later on Sunday night, and they felt good about the sermon because they felt like it gave them permission to set boundaries with their parents or something, that like just because their parents have different political opinions. And so I know a bunch of people who are like estranged from their families, and to hear like love your enemies unless, here's caveat, you got to set boundaries and you got to like, it's okay to not engage. Like, I don't think that's what this sermon's giving people permission.
No, that's not what I meant by that.
Yeah,
I
know.
meant by people that have deeply hurt you.
It's also what you just said about every circumstance being different.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, even if it is that they have different political views, I would take that a step further and just start to unpack, well, in what ways are you experiencing that as something damaging?
Yeah.
Right? Are they coming at you like a wrecking ball?
Right,
Are
right.
they a destructive force in your life?
Yeah.
What?
If there, if
Right.
there's abuse or
Right.
whatever,
Absolutely.
for sure.
Yes. Yeah.
But Jesus wasn't talking about like your parents voted for somebody that you can't stand, so therefore you're gonna
Right.
estrange your
You
family.
could
or
set
something.
boundaries and say, we're just not going to talk about that stuff, but
Sure.
we can still be in relationship with each other and have a full relationship without that ever coming up.
Yeah, those aren't the
Yeah, that wasn't the
enemies that
caveat.
he had-
No,
he had in
no.
mind,
I
yeah.
was talking about there was messages years ago that Dave did on how do you love a fool? How do you love an evil
Yeah.
person? Like those, I was talking more about somebody that has deeply
yes,
hurt you or had destructive behavior, abuse,
yeah,
or
for sure.
I felt like I couldn't go through the message without giving that
Yeah.
caveat because of people I know in my own life that I was like, they're sitting here right now thinking, this person has crushed my soul. And you're telling me that I have to, no, you don't have to be in relationship with them to love them.
Yeah. I used to equate forgiveness with full-on reconciliation, and I just could not separate the two until a situation in my own family. What did you call it? A circumstantial.
An entanglement with a circumstance.
Yeah. And it was the first time in my life that I really had to establish boundaries for my family's safety, for my safety. Just, it was hard because it went against who I am. It went against what's natural for me. And I struggled. You guys know I struggled in those years to know, like, all right, am I just, this boundary, is it cruel or is it necessary? Am I being loving? If forgiveness isn't, hey, come back
Right,
in,
right.
come back into my life full force with your,
Right.
just all of your unhealth and
Right.
the way that you're destructive toward me and toward my family. If forgiveness isn't that, like, I just had this all or nothing approach toward forgiveness. So I talked to trusted friends, I talked to pastors, and I talked to a therapist about the circumstance
Right.
And how I should go about loving this person from within some kind of created boundary, what that looks like, whether or not that's even possible. I feel like at the end of the day, I built a boundary that had a door because I always wanted there to be some hope for forward motion, progress, reconciliation. I could still forgive from within my boundary, but the door was there. And I wasn't going to open that door before the Lord said to open that door. Anyway, I feel like that's part of the love. Never wanting harm for that individual, never
Right,
wanting
yeah.
bad to happen to them.
That's huge. piece
Yeah.
of it, not wanting harm.
Weeping for
Yeah,
their
right.
brokenness
Yeah, right.
and the brokenness
Yep.
of our family.
And I think I've been thinking a lot about that too, like seeing the person's brokenness.
Mm-hmm.
I think that helps you love. Well, first of all, seeing them as an image bearer of God, like just anybody that you're like, oh wait, God loves them and they are an image, but also honing in on, I'm really mad at them, but when you see the broken pieces that all of this is coming from, it is so much easier to love them because it's coming from this deep sadness. And
And I'm powerless to fix that.
right. I can't do anything about
Right.
it.
So I'm waiting on the work of the Spirit. I'm waiting for the Spirit to tell me when to crack that door open or whatever.
Right.
And that's why I made a reference to the passage of time earlier when you were talking. That boundary was in place for me for 3 years before the Lord cracked that door open, blew that door wide open due to even more unfortunate circumstances.
Right.
But I thought about it in light of the passage of time. It felt like, all right, let's say you break a bone or something. There's a painful event and you've got a broken bone. A surgeon will put a plate on that bone to help it heal correctly. And sometimes that plate is there for an amount of time until the bone's kind of strong enough, healed, healthy enough to be able to stand on its own. Sometimes it's there for the rest of your life. In my case, I feel like that 3-year boundary was that semi-permanent plate. It needed to be in place so that we could heal. I like to say heal for real, so that we could heal well and thoroughly and all the way through, not crooked. Some boundaries have to remain in place.
Yep.
And some are just kind of temporary trellises almost, just to encourage healing. And then eventually they can be removed.
Yeah. And the other thing you said in that was it's a holistic approach to love too. You have all of these people in your life that you're loving well. And in order for you to love some of the other people in your life well, you had to love this person by setting some
Big time.
some boundaries. Like every situation, because of that, every situation for every single person is different.
Right.
And it's through the Spirit's movement and your being connected to that vine that you will hopefully have the knowledge and the wisdom and the discernment to know, how do I approach this situation? And talk to people.
Yeah.
If you're struggling, you talk to people that might be able, that just can maybe look at it from a different angle and help you sort through, how can you love this person? Yeah.
Your Bible's been reading to you.
It has?
This entire episode.
That's so
Like,
funny.
that's one way to get through the Bible in a
I
year.
guess, yeah.
Just have the Bible.
I can't believe
read
it
on
we
silent.
couldn't hear it out loud. That's funny. I love technology.
Man. Where are we going next? You're up.
I am up, and we are going
Whitewash tombs.
to the whitewash tombs. This is one of the most, we think of Jesus as our gentle shepherd. In Matthew 23, he is anything but gentle when it comes to the Pharisees and wanting his followers to be different. Again, it ties directly to your passage. These occurrences happened in the same space at the same time, and so I think there's going to be a lot of overlap. But Jesus is telling the Pharisees that they are missing the point, and he redirects them to what really matters. So that's where we're going.
If you want to prep for this, you can listen to Alas, Alas for You from the musical Godspell. Because it's this passage that he's...
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's yelling at the Pharisees. Yeah. Alas, alas for you. What, itching my armpit? Yep. And I'll itch my armpit while I listen to it. But listen to the newer Broadway cast, because the old cast
No, I
is
probably won't do
terrible.
that. I'm not going to do that.
All right, whatever.
All right, so you'll be representing next week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I'll send you the questions ahead of time.
Yeah, is that a new thing?
All good. Maron likes it.
Oh,
Barry
okay.
hates it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed, Barry and I are very different.
Yeah. I was like,
So I
ooh,
sent
we're
you the
not going
questions
off
ahead
the
of
cuff.
time today.
I was like, ooh, shoot, preparation. Ugh.
No, you totally don't have to.
I know.
You
I'm
don't
just
have
kidding.
to.
Well, they came through, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to look at these now. Daggone it.
All right, Barry will be back next week. Amy, thanks for joining us.
It was
always
so
a
great.
pleasure.
It's been a pleasure for me as well.
Yep. Maron, will you? Oh,
Nope.
please.
I don't know.
Send us
Can I?
out.
Should I? Do justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God.
And we'll see you on the other side of Sunday.